Here in verse 4 it says, we were talking about the spiritual blessing. How many of you can connect something from the previous topic? The greatest spiritual blessing is to be like Him. We all want a lot of spiritual gifts and spiritual blessings and inheritance, and we can put terminologies after terminologies. Let me tell you, to be like Him. Period. Does He hold it from us? No. I always use the Old Testament sayings, and they are some of my solid examples to live this New Testament life. And if an Old Testament Elijah can do such a great thing, how much more should I? I always refer this Elijah in some of my contexts. If you have listened to my many sermons, one of the contexts I say is, this Elijah had such a confidence with God that he said, one time he said, this thing you hid from me. What did he say? This thing you hid from me. That means he's telling about God. God, you hid one thing from me. Right? Wow, I like it. How many of you can say, Lord, you hid one thing from me? I think you are. Everything is hidden from me, Lord. One is open. Right? How many of you can say, there's only one thing that is hidden from me? I'm like, Lord, I want answers for a million questions. My life is full of problems. I don't have any answers for any of them. I'm clueless. I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm really lost. But what an audacity and confidence he has. A situation comes, the woman comes all the way running to Elijah, and immediately he sent his servant with the staff, and he said, servant, she is not budging for the servant. She said, I don't want to see you. I want to see that guy. I didn't ask him for anything. He came to my house and he barged in and he gave me what I wanted. Is that what it is? She opened the house for this servant, and she was wonderful, very rich and wealthy, and one day he felt so nice. This person is so hospitable, so sweet, so wonderful guy. And you know, he comes into this house, he's a prophet, he's walking miles and miles, and he feels like this woman is such an amazing woman. Wow, I don't deserve any of this hospitality. And he said, I need to bless her. And then he says, tells his servant, go, ask her what she wants. And she said, oh, master, I don't need anything. I'm well settled. I really don't need anything. I'm so happy, so blessed by the Lord. I just want to bless you. And the servant says, she doesn't ask for anything, but she has one need. She doesn't have a child. She doesn't have a child. That's her need. She didn't ask for it. Isn't that interesting, right? Now today, as I'm speaking to you, some of you might have been asking God, Lord, I want this. I need an answer, right? Some are looking for something. Here is a man who has the answers. But he says, what do you want? I'll tell you, Elijah is not one of those ordinary, even kings call him. People come to his house. He's one of those amazing person. And she is not an ordinary lady either. She is in high position. She has every wealth. Her husband works for the government. She has every influence. And he said, if you want any recommendation from me, just tell me. Prophet, I have all influence. I can handle it for you. Prophet doesn't need anything from anybody. But now this prophet comes and tells you, do you need anything? Here is the Lord telling you, do you need anything? And she said, no, I really don't. Lord, I just want to walk with you. I'm very content. I'm happy. I'm satisfied. Then you know that the servant comes and says, she lacks one thing. He's able to feel that too. When I walk with God, I see one thing. The beautiful thing I always see. He without question, He'll give you. Have you ever seen Jesus telling people come to Jesus and say, Lord, heal me. And He says, well, go, sell everything and follow me. I'll heal you later. Did He ever say that? Did He say, okay, come, you get saved, be baptized, and I'll heal you? Say that? Come to my church. We're going to pray and have a fasting and prayer, and somehow we lock you in, and then slowly it happens or not, I don't know. But did he do that? He was not even looking for that. And they gave an asking, he just did it. There's no catch behind it. They asked, he did it. Do you know there's no catch in that? And we feel so distant that we don't see it. Brother was here with me all day and he was asking me questions and so many things about it. And I say, I don't even know. Here, Nancy is here, and I know one thing. I really don't have any desires. I sometimes I still remember one day, out of nowhere I said I would like to get what? Promised Land strawberry milkshake. I just, milk, not shake, sorry. The shake is added. I just said, well, out of nowhere, I just said, and the next day, it's right there in the pantry box. And I said, I didn't ask you. I didn't even make a prayer for you. It just comes. And I just never come before, right? Did it come after? Is it an accident or a coincidence? I don't think so. It's His love. It's His love for you. It is His so pleasing will that He wants to satisfy you. Being in that sweetest place. There was a time in my life I had to pray, I had to ask, I had to cry, and I had to knock. I know my relationship. I have to really. Then it's a whole process, 9-yard process, and I surrender, Lord. What is it holding from? There are times likewise too. Then there came a place in my life. I said, you know what? I give everything away. And I had a lot of talk with God saying that, you give me stuff when I don't want it. That was my dialogue about Him. Because you give me when I don't want it. That means you give me when I don't need it. When I need it, it's never there. It's not absolutely correct, but when I really, there's my anxious times when I was, I want it, I need it. I'm all about this things. And I run for it. Then comes a time in my life. You know what, Lord? I'm so satisfied. Are you really satisfied? I'm happy. I feel so content in you. I just want to be in you. What do you want from me? Here is a time in my life that I'm saying, I just really don't look for anything. I don't even think about it. Always I'm driving, I'm worshiping, and I'm praying, Lord, where is it that you want me to be? What is that you want from me? Is there anything that you desire from me that I'm not satisfied? What is the deepest desire of your heart that nobody wants to go? Would it be me? Push me, I'll go. Give me that strength. The obedience that comes to that place where you just say, Lord. And then the Lord is so interested in you then. It's like, you know what? Then you say, oh, God, you say, and then it just comes. When I got married, I would not ask for anything, and I would simply go, and my wife would be with me, and I would simply go. And then she said, oh, you need a jacket. I was in the month of November 11th, right? 11th, I came here to United States, and it was cold, and I come from India. I had one suitcase and 2 suitcases, and one suitcase had my old Indian clothes, and then missionary clothes. So it's not fancy, by the way. So I had some of the Indian clothes that I got from there, and then I had some gifts for other people. And then she opened my box and said, "This is all you have?" I said, "That's it. Nothing else. That's all. Yeah, that's it." And then she said, "You probably need a jacket here." And I said, "Okay." And then I said, "Don't worry about it. That's my answer for everything. Don't worry about it." And then my cousin calls me to his house. And then he looked at me and he said, "Oh, Dais, oh, you need a jacket. I just bought one. It's not fitting me. Try it on." And I put it on, and I said, "How is his size and my size fitting anywhere?" It's not in a combination that his size has anything closer to mine. How did that change? And I fit perfectly into this, and he's a big guy. Wow. And he said, "You take it. It's a nice, beautiful leather jacket." And I'm like, wow, God, how He provides, right? And that's how it is. And everything I wanted, He just has it always ready for me. That's how it is. It's already prepared for you. And it is not cheap. It is not something nobody wanted and somebody was throwing it away, and it is something good. That's how it is. Our journey with Him is so beautiful. Coming to that place, sweetest place with Him, right? I love that. And it took me a long way to learn to walk with Him and delight in His presence and love Him. I never could understand the whole Matthew 5, 6, 7. It was too complicated. Now, here is easy, but it's complicated. So in my research and my study, I understood. If you study Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, 5 books in the Bible, and if you memorize it thoroughly, it's all in Matthew chapter 5, 6, 7. That's pretty much all it is. Because Old Testament people had to memorize and study and live by the Pentateuch. But for me, when Jesus opened it up, it is all in the Beatitudes of Christ. So my serious effort was to know that Matthew 5, 6, and 7. And in that search, it was God's very important thing. The most delight, the desire of God is to have heaven here. That is the delight of God. That's our prayer, right? Is that the prayer? Here in this, that is God planned it a long time, even before He put foundation on this earth. His plan was, I want heaven on earth. And then my desire became, Lord, I want heaven on earth. I don't want to be going to heaven and I see heaven. Wow, wonderful. Lord, I miss it all in earth. I didn't have it. You gave it all to me here, but I never had it one day. Then I go there and I said, wow, this is amazing, but I'm not called to be in heaven. I'm supposed to be on earth. You have to establish on earth because you'll be ruling the earth, right? That's our call, right? So better leave it now. You better leave it now. That's the most beautiful thing. That's why when Jesus looks at all of us and He's surprised. I came from India to America. When I was in America, first came to America, and I said, this is not going to work here. I was in a cultural shock for a minute. And I come here, and I'm from a missionary home, and I come to an amazing Christian home. I'm telling you, it is radical than mostly anybody else, but still, I'm like, that's not going to work. I said to the Lord, whatever you plant, it's not going to work in America. Because people are busy. Lifestyle is too complex. I don't think people have any minute in their life to spare for it because there is nothing that's going to work. That was my first assumption when I came to America. It's not going to work. And the Lord said, pray. It'll happen. You pray. And I did pray. When I started praying and waiting and praying, it started happening. It started happening. It took a big prize in our life to get to that place. Now, we try to put two things in one. Our worldly life and a heavenly life. That's exactly what I try to do. I became so much Americanized. I'm living in America, busy, working, running, rushing, coming back, and doing all these things, and then doing ministry. And then, somehow, I'm such a godly man that I pray. I wake up early in the morning, I pray. Then I do ministry. Then I do this. I'm struggling. And it's a good heart. God knows my heart is so good. But, still deep inside me, my desire was, I want heaven. I've tasted it one time. Heavenly means there is a moment in my life that happened one time. When I was in the Bible school, that happened. I experienced it. God with us. God speaking. God with me 24/7. I know that moment. Then sometimes I have this philosophical thought. It's an utopia. It may not work. It's how can it all work? I have all this imagination of this is how it's supposed to be. It's never work because people are all having their own thing. It's never work. So I just prayed and prayed, and finally we met with an accident. That accident, right before the accident, this vision was in us. But there was a moment in our life that I had an encounter, and I said, Lord, whatever it takes, do it. Whatever it takes, do it. And out of nowhere, I was not planning to go to Dallas. We had some meeting and all these things, but out of nowhere, it happened to be that last minute, we finally make a decision to go. It's a great man of God who was teaching. His teachings were amazing. And we were radically turned around. And during that time, I was feeling maybe it could happen. So finally, I made a decision. It's not going to happen just because we come, gather, preach. It doesn't happen. It is a life that is given. It cost us our life. Oh, finally, that evening, I remember that evening, I was trying. Nancy was 7 months pregnant. So 8 months pregnant, sorry, I didn't say 7 all the time. 7 is when you can't get on the flight. So that's why. So she was 8 months pregnant, and I was trying to see a flight ticket for her because we cannot drive to Dallas with an 8 months old pregnant lady. So I was looking at you don't get a ticket to the flight too. Then so finally we decided, okay, we'll go together, we'll rent a car, we'll go. So we decided to go. And we go. When we come back, at the meeting and everything was over, inside me I know it will take a lot. And finally I said, okay, Lord, whatever it takes, let's do it. I didn't know the cost. I didn't know what was coming. So I traveled from Dallas back, and we are almost home, near to town. We are in Bush now. Our rear passenger tire pops. My vehicle flips 6, 7, or 8 times, right? Multiple times, and the median was pretty far. We came to the other side of the road, to the opposite traffic on I-75. There was time that we were all completely wiped out. Like, miraculously, we lived. That was not the problem there. It was God's timing to start a new chapter. Humanly speaking, that's a death and life. And I remember the time when I was in that unconscious, the Lord spoke to me and He said, I'm going to give you another chance. My second son was premature taken out in Orlando Regional Hospital. The first son was there in the car. Absolutely no problem, no scratch, nothing. My wife, she broke her C5, C6, so fracture, and she was on a halo with a baby. So they took the baby out, and right away she was on a halo. Immediately, brother invited us to another house, and we stayed in that house. Now our life is completed. We thought we'll come back home within the weekend. We never came to that house for 2 years. That's a turning point. Everything came to ground zero. Nothing left. Completely dependent on someone else. Living in someone's house. Living in someone's bedroom. Completely disabled. Can't even walk. Lost. Sitting there. I'm on medication, pain medication continuously. And my mood goes up and down. Never been addicted to anything, but Percocet kicked me in so much that I couldn't control. I don't even know what I went through. The whole family was in a turmoil. But that long story short, there was a time. Emptied everything, cleaned up my life. And the Lord said, now it is clean. Start it again. A lot of thoughts going on. Man, almost felt like we lost everything in life. House, car, nothing. We went through almost everything. We went into bankruptcy also. So it was completely a redo. We were angry, upset. Deep inside, we knew God was doing something. Why? When everything was taken away, Lord. But even when everything was taken away, God had provisions after provisions after provisions. Someone to take care of us. One sister who lived in my house, she was in addiction. She came back and said, I will take care of the little baby. God took care of everything for us, but our life was new. During that time, I remember the brother who was in that house, he had a house gathering, and they were struggling in house gathering. I said, brother, what you doing? They're gathering, and then they have a person talks from Dallas. He's the preacher, he preaches. And I said, what are you doing? You don't need all this garbage. You need to pray. You need to pray. We got to pray. He said, isn't that silly? How do you pray? That's a verse in the Bible. Disciples asked him, how do you pray? I said, you simply pray. Wake up in the morning, cut out your best time, pray, and then we pray. We pray. So we decided, okay, let's do it. So we go, wake up in the morning at 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock. This brother likes to talk. I said, brother, we didn't wake up for talking. We woke up for praying. Let's go pray. So then we started praying. We started praying and we started praying, and I said, don't pray for anything, just pray in tongue and pray for the will of God. Nothing else. Whatever it takes. Will of God to be done in my life, pray. We started praying. Weeks passed. Miracles and wonders started happening. People started coming from all around the church. That church was a church where everybody was coming every single day, fellowshipping together. Acts of Apostles chapter 2, originated by prayer. Everybody is nurses and everybody, they come here, they fill up the freezers, they eat, then they have a night service, prayer, and everybody prays and worship, and the night goes so long that they then just go next morning, they're full of energy, and they goes to work, and this was happening day in and day out and day. And Sunday is not a Sunday service, it's a Friday starting and Monday ending service. It starts on Friday evening and it goes on and nobody can stop it. It just goes on. And night 3 o'clock you hear all the people speaking in tongues and all are on fire. And then it's happening. And kids are all there. It's all miracle. And people come into the house and whose house it is. Nobody knows. Everybody's key is there. Take it and go. It became general. It was Acts of Apostles happened. Then slowly and sooner, like the history happened, pride, glory, power started coming into the church. Leadership issues started coming in. I said, okay, that's not what I started. I said, if anybody, and I still remember, brother, there will be a day in your life, you be the pastor will get you. And when it becomes like every other church, it is over. It's over. And I'll tell you, that was over. Then I said, the Lord said, that's not your calling. You're going to do that among the people here of this land. I'm here now. And people are here, still not reached to that place. We've been talking about it yesterday. When I see that here today, I see a lot of factors coming together, but still not the glory seen. I'm still waiting for the glorious moment. What happens is, we see a lot of miracles. God is providing. God is giving everything. When I started this ministry in this place, I didn't know how to feed all these people. And I would take, we would buy food from Harvest Market. We had a little budget for our food budget. And we said, we decided we are going to take our food budget and feed the people. So we are going to downsize our lifestyle and we are going to go to Harvest Market and buy, am I correct with that? Chicken quarters from 40 pounds for $14.99. That was the price back in the time. 40 pounds chicken quarters. So I go there. I'm not a good shopper, by the way, but I found that was the cheapest thing I could ever find. I said, that's amazing. $14.99, 40 pound chicken quarter. Wow, that's chicken to me. So I brought the chicken. Then I said, we need to get a grill. I started grilling and feeding all the people. The story goes on, people start complaining, we are tired of chicken. I'm like, God, give me grace here.